luxury, opulence. The famous Hollywood hills and red carpets are what Los Angeles, better known as the City of Angels, is usually associated with. But star parties, fashionable hotels, and respectable villas are just the tip of the iceberg. There is another Los Angeles, which is not customary to talk about. We are talking about the southern part of the city, better known as South Central. It was this place that served as the prototype for the famous city of Los Santos from GTA 3, San Andreas. For those who are not in the know, this game is built on the fact that a black kid is engaged in crime, fighting with gangs, participating in various troubles and generally leading a wild life in a city where every second person has intoxicants, guns, and alcohol. And this place is a real copy of South Central, where even the police are afraid to go. The thing is that South Central, despite its good location, is a real ghetto. Here the African American population rules the ball, without education, aspirations, and any kind of moral orientation. There are also rare white residents here, but they are all tied up either in the drug industry or in selling their bodies. It is believed that ambitious young people who came to storm Hollywood and suffered a complete fiasco flock here. Having no money to rent a normal apartment and afraid to return home with nothing, they go to South Central for easy money. Some of them are met with weapons in their hands, but some take root, becoming part of the local crime scene. But how did it happen that a whole district of the city suddenly turned into a mecca of crime and robbery? It's simple. The segregation of the U.S. population laid the foundation for this. In the early 60s, there was no longer official segregation in America, but some conservative states still oppressed the African American population. They did not give people jobs. They did not serve in cafes. They were discriminatory against African American students in the classroom. In general, they emphasized with all their might, they are not welcome here. People were forced to leave for new places in search of a better life. Warm and rich, Los Angeles seemed like the perfect place to start your life from scratch. Only here the mood of the settlers was very specific. And can they be blamed for this? State policy changed very quickly. From second-class people and former people, they moved into the category of victims of racism, who were treated unfairly for centuries. In other words, people believed, before them it is necessary to atone for guilt. They all owe it. I want to emphasize that not everyone thought so. Among the migrants were those who wanted to work, start a new life and give their children a good start, a decent education and quality food. Only here in South Central they did not sit for a long time, leaving for more prosperous areas along with the white population. However, African Americans used to live here, more successful than visitors. They could afford villas and nice houses. This success of their compatriots inspired people to move. But the chip was not in the color of the skin or the place, but in the work, hard and honest. The people who arrived had no education, thanks to segregation, but they did not want to work either. The only way to get money was crime. People traded their bodies, illegal substances, protected other people and divided areas into zones of influence, collecting money from local entrepreneurs for the fact that they had not lost business at all. It has become the norm for South Central to break into other people's houses and rob shops, rip out bags and rip off jewelry, beat and even kill. Even today, at a seemingly prosperous time, this area continues to be extremely dangerous. People die walking the streets and even sitting on their porches. Gangs shoot at everyone as an act of terror, and disassembly of warring factions as rich in stray bullets. Some time ago, the city government tried to solve the problem, but they did it in a very specific way. They simply wanted to disconnect South Central from the city, creating a separate formation. Only now the crime in this case began to beat all records in the country, which became extremely inconvenient. Too much attention was riveted to this place, so Central became part of Los Angeles. The number of attacks in relation to the number of inhabitants smoothed out a little. The area was lost among the statistics. At the moment, the area is a huge dysfunctional ghetto, which is unlikely to change in the foreseeable future. It is not easy to destroy an established pattern of behavior, and it is almost impossible to convince people to work, not to rob. Still, the human psyche is arranged in such a way that simple solutions attract us more. Looting and violence is easier than honest work. They are faster, and sometimes even more effective. Directing these people into a peaceful direction is now almost impossible. Thank you for your attention.